welcome to Win, Lose, or Cry, a Maple Leafs podcast. It's me and James here again today. You may have noticed that Chase hasn't been on for the last couple weeks, and he has a good reason for that. Mac's source for sports. Let me just, yeah. Our buddy Chase.
There we go.
Our buddy Chase has opened up a hockey store in Hamilton. Very comfortable sweater, I must say. It's not hockey.
You know what? It looks good. I mean, the old Source for Sport logo was red, and
yeah.
I think I had an S with a ball in the middle. They've rebranded completely, and it looks good.
Dude,
they've done a good job of it.
When you go buy a hoodie, like a nice hoodie, like you go to like American Eagle or not even American, like somewhere nice, right, to get a comfy one. How much you spend?
Yeah.
How much do you spend normally?
Yeah, I don't know. You're anywhere from $40 to $60 or so.
$30,
probably.
$30.
30?
30. It's
steal.
It's comfy as hell.
Steal.
It's comfy as hell. I've had way worse sweaters for like $60-$70.
Yeah. Well, it looks good. It looks good.
Thank you. But yeah, if you guys want to go see Chase, you want to go help him out. Phenomenal stuff. The store is set up beautifully. As you guys know, he's a goalie. He's got a whole wall set up for goalie equipment. They got a puck shooting area. They got like the fake ice, so you can even put your skates on there to see how you feel on there. Place is great. It's Mac's Source for Sports. It's on James and Rymel in Hamilton, Ontario. Go take a look. I'll actually put the Instagram and the Twitter. I'll get those from Chase. I'll put those in the description.
Perfect.
So if you guys want to take a look, it's Mac's Source for Sports. All right. On to NHL hockey news. The Leafs. 3 games this week. How we feeling, James?
Man, I think we can sum the first game up by just saying Thatcher Demko. I mean, the Leafs, I honestly thought they played a good game. Matthews, start off the top right now. Matthews, Marner, and Bunting is the best line in the NHL right now.
Absolutely.
Well, we're going to dive into it a little bit more, but they are the number one line in the NHL right now.
No question.
Matthews, that line looked really good that game.
Yeah.
And I thought through the first 40 minutes, for the first 2 periods of that game, they looked strong. I don't know what happened in the third period. That team fell apart. But not offensively. They put up 16 shots in the third period. I think they pulled the goalie with 2 minutes and 58 seconds left. They had 3 minutes of 6-on-5, and they could not put the puck in the net. They were putting it on net. They got the shots on net. Yeah. But they just could not, for the life of them, score.
It doesn't seem, and it hasn't seen all of 2022, our forward depth is not the problem.
It's not. I mean, they put up 4 goals. And you know what? So during the game, I read a stat. Prior to that game, the Leafs were 22-0-1 when they had 4 goals or more. And so that stat came up as they scored the 4th goal to make, I forget what the score was at the time, but they scored the 4th goal. The stat comes up, Leafs are 22-0-1. Now they're 22-1-1.
It's like mocking us.
Yeah, how can you score 4 goals in a game and then blow it in the third period?
If you're the Leafs, it happens.
Yes.
We've seen it.
Sorry, let me rephrase that. How can you let the opposing team score 3 goals on 6 shots and lose the game?
It's when your goalies are. I don't know what to say anymore. This is longer than a slump, and it's like what we said with the front line. We're gonna get into the nitty gritty after we go through the games, but everyone's saying this is a slump. A slump doesn't go on for both goalies for 3 months.
So I know I fell victim to it early this season, right? When we first started games 1, 2, and 3, I was skeptical of Campbell, right? You know it in the offseason. I was skeptical of him. I thought he needed a full season to prove whether he was a good starting goaltender. The season started, the Leafs were extremely hot, and I fell victim to, we have a Vezina winning goaltender. We're good to go. We are the best, right? And I still think this team could be. However, the way Campbell's playing and hasn't been able to snap out of it, it's one thing for a goalie to have 5 bad games in a row.
happens.
Right? It happens. Players go through slumps. This is different, I think.
It's very. Take Tavares for instance. I didn't ream him out, but I got on him a bit last week, saying it's 14. Was it 14 games goalless?
Yeah.
He was still playing well. If you watch him play, he played well. But what I was saying was, for $11 million and we signed you to score, put the puck in the net. And
so I just want to touch base on that real quick, because he broke that.
He did.
Scoring joke on that Vancouver game.
Yes.
In the last 15 games, he's still put up 14 points.
But that's my point.
Right?
He's going through a goal slump, and you got Tavares to score goals.
No,
right?
Not necessarily. You have Matthews to score goals.
No, but when you sign Tavares, it's like Tavares scores. He's a team player. Like, that's part of his game, is to score goals. He's not a guy who gets 10 goals a year.
No, he's not.
So he was playing well, but he was slumping in one of his main aspects. So that's why I was giving him a bit of grief.
That was the problem, I think.
Yes. So it's kind of like Tavares is playing good, but he's slumping, and I really need him to get out of it. Whereas Campbell is not playing good. He's letting in weak goals. Terrible rebounds.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah, and I think it was the Seattle game. One of the goals went in, and it looked like he may have done something to his groin.
Oh, I didn't.
I could be looking into it too much. I don't know. I forget which goal it was, but actually, it was the short-handed one. I think it was Seattle's third goal.
Okay.
It was short-handed. They came down. They passed it across the crease, and the guy took the shot from the center of the ice. Mm-hmm. And the way Campbell slid over to try and make the save, and he just kind of stayed down for a second afterwards. So I don't know if it was he was injured himself or tweaked something, or if it was just he hung his head down because he's upset that he let a goal in, right? It looked like it could have been either one of those things.
I had to take
but he got right back up and he played the rest of the game, and they ended up winning the game.
They ended up winning that game.
He let one more in after that one, but I'm pretty sure it was the third goal Seattle scored.
I'd have to take a look at that then.
Yeah, he just kind of, after the goal went in, he stayed down for a second, so I wasn't sure if he tweaked something or if he just was unhappy with himself because he let them score. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was a good goal. It was a cross-crease goal.
Yeah.
Short-handed, so puck went past Riley, but whatever.
Yeah, it happens.
I
don't think he played particularly bad in that game, to be honest, but it's Seattle. Shouldn't be.
Yeah.
It was a little too close to be playing Seattle, in my opinion.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing we keep talking about, right? 4 goals against. The amount of goals against are too high.
Yeah, and I think you have the stats for that written down. Goals against.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
he had 867, I think, save percentage. Is what Campbell put up against Seattle.
I'm just looking at the goals against for the last 15 games.
It's not. There's 2 good games in there, I think.
Yeah, 4-1 win and a 3-1 win. Everything else, 3
horrible
against 3-5-3-2-1, 6-5-4-1, 7-3-5-6-4-4.
Yeah.
Wow.
The last 15 games, the Leafs have let 59 goals in.
That's unacceptable.
Well, right, that's okay. They've scored 60.
That's not that good.
That's not in 15 games.
But no,
that's not good at all.
You can't have a +1 goal differential.
No,
that's not good.
Not if
for a playoff team.
You know what? Well, that's what I was gonna say. You can have a +1 goal differential if you're Detroit.
Yeah.
Or Boston.
Yeah, then it's like, all right.
Or a team that's not expected to go far in the playoffs. Yeah. A team that's not expected to come first in their division.
I bet Arizona prays for a +1 goal differential.
Well, there exactly.
Yeah, but you're supposedly one of the top 3-4 teams going for the cup this year, and you only have a +1 goal differential.
Yeah, in 15 games.
That's not good enough. That is
looking at those save percentages. If you had told me Michael Hutchinson started every game, I would believe you.
Yeah.
Take out the names and just show me the numbers. And if you told me that, it was Hutchinson or Joseph Wool, I'd be like, okay, that makes a bit more sense. But saying that this is our 1A/1B goaltending stats is not good.
What is the league average for save percentages here? Isn't it 915, I believe, or something around that?
I'm not sure. Let me.
Can you double check that
real quick? Yeah, I'll double check it real quick. Yeah, I'm not sure what it is. I know that. What's his name? Shesterkin is holding a record right now for how high his is.
He's so good.
Yeah.
What would we need to give up to get Shesterkin? Austin Matthews.
Nothing. Honestly, yeah. I don't think you could. Like, no one's even close.
He's just otherworldly.
Oh my goodness, no one's even close. So I can't see what the average is here.
What
I can tell you, out of the top 10, the 10th, so the lowest is a 920.
So I believe average is like 914, 915, but for the sake of argument, make it easier. Let's say league average is 910. Okay?
So Campbell's currently sitting with a 914.
That's
on the year.
All year. He was like at 960, 950 for a lot of it, 940.
He was a 939.
Yeah. Oh, that's really which is insanely good. But I'm saying, let's say league average 910. Okay?
Yeah.
And that's undervaluing it. How many of the last 15 games have the Leafs gotten league average goaltending? Looks like 1, 2.
2. The one game they had a 909.
Okay. And then
I know this. I don't just randomly know that off the top of my head. I looked up these stats before we started. I don't just randomly know that. No, I know that. Out of the last 15 games, I think Mrazek had one game and Campbell had one game where they both put up really good numbers.
No,
but outside of that, everything's been like 800s.
Yeah, like Jack Campbell had a 920 and a 978 back-to-back.
Yeah.
And then that's Mrazek had a 960.
Mrazek had a good game. I think it was Minnesota. The Wild.
Yeah, but that's it.
Yeah.
How did Campbell have a 978? What happened in that Pittsburgh game?
The Pittsburgh shot like crazy, and Campbell shut them down.
Well then, I'll take it.
Yeah, hey, I will too.
You can't have, but league average goaltending for 3 of 15 games.
No, it's not. It's not good.
And in that stretch, you had nights where they were below 800. Multiple nights when they were below 800.
Yes.
You have
against Montreal, against Detroit.
792 against Montreal, an 800 and a 750 against Detroit. Yeah. 821 against Vancouver. Come on. 839 against Buffalo. Why do the Leafs suck against bad teams?
Well, that's the thing is out of the last 15 games, they've won 8 and they've lost 7.
Yeah.
But of those 7 losses, only 2 of them were to a playoff team. 5 of the 7 losses were to teams outside the playoffs.
They played down. To their opponent.
Yeah, I get. Well,
look at the Montreal series.
I wouldn't even say right now they're playing down. I would say the team is down. Like the team is not doing well.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I thought. What were your opinions on like the Columbus-Seattle games? I know the power play for the Seattle game, the Leafs were clicking for that. They're 50% on the power play that night.
Yes. The Columbus game I thought was pretty good. Matthews gets his 40th goal.
Yeah.
Big milestone.
and then notches 3 more the next night.
Yeah, I know, right?
Just to keep it going.
Matthews is at 43 goals. What is he like 4 or 5 goals in the lead right now?
5. I believe Kreider's at as of right now, Kreider's at 38. Let me pull it. I'm just double check. I'm pretty sure the next leader's 38 and he's at 43.
What a monster.
Yeah, Kreider and Draisaitl are tied at 38. Matthews is now at 40. And he has less 43. Games played.
43.
43. And he's got less games played.
And the next stretch is weak teams, if I remember
That
correctly.
doesn't matter. We look at the last 15. It does not matter.
Matthews will score. I'm not saying if we'll win the game, but Matthews will score.
Yeah, well, he got shut out to Montreal. Right? He got shut out to Montreal. He got shut out to Buffalo.
It's just so weird, man.
A 5-1 loss to Buffalo, so
the Leafs are such a weird team.
Yeah. Like something needs to change, and it needs to change soon.
Yes.
Right? Because as of right, like let's say this team doesn't change, and this is the way they are going forward. If you're Kyle Dubas, you need to make a decision.
He doesn't have a lot of time left. I don't think these goalies are gonna cut it.
What's gonna happen to him if he changes it up, and this team does not change, and they play this for the rest of the season, make it in the final spot, possibly a wild card spot, and get eliminated in the first round? In my opinion, this is out of Dubas' hands.
He's given them everything.
You look at the beginning of the season
Everything.
when they won 14 out of 16 games.
Yeah.
Like that is the team that he constructed.
Yeah. He put together fantastic team. It's just they forget how to hockey.
Yeah.
That's the most scientific way I can put it.
It's said beautifully. But over these last 15 games, like I said, Tavares actually put up 14 points in 15 games. So I know that he was on a goal drought, and people were giving him a hard time. He was still putting up points, right? Nylander went through a bit of a goal drought as well. In the last 15 games, he put up 13 points. The concerning one to me, though, is Morgan Riley.
Okay.
8 points in 15 games. Right? 1 goal, 7 assists.
And that's kind of his game.
Here's the thing is, you could say he's a defenseman, right? He's not meant to score. I know he's an offensive defenseman, and we pay him just to get points.
Yeah.
But you could make the argument he's a defenseman. He's playing a defensive game. That's why his point production has decreased. The problem is
defense has been
they've
shit.
let by 59 goals in 60 games. So
what the hell is he doing?
It's no longer an excuse. Like you can't use that excuse if you're still averaging almost 4 goals against per night. Like what? So I honestly, Riley's the one player. I haven't heard anyone say anything bad about him. I haven't heard people start complaining about him, but
I think we should.
Only 8 points in 15 games for a guy was on pace as just shy of a point a game player.
Yeah.
Like, he has really cooled off, but it's not like he's cooled off in a defensive manner.
No.
Because the team
Isn't
isn't doing anything defensively. So, like I said, the Seattle scored shorthanded last night. Riley was the defender back. So
I found I even mentioned it last week. When he was paired with
Sandin.
He was paired with Sandin, and Sandin passed it to Riley. Riley fumbled the puck and completely missed it, and then they scored on that. It was a 2-on-2. Like I've noticed he's sloppy.
Outside of I'd say the top 5 forwards, because I do think Nylander and Tavares are playing well right. Yeah. Like the numbers speak for themselves. 13 points in 12 points in 15 games and 14 points in 15 games. Like those are good numbers.
Yeah.
Like I'm happy with those numbers. So I would say the top 5 players on offense, outside of them, this team is not doing well. Right? Line 3 on offense, the Camp, Kasha, and Mikheyev line,
now,
it's looking really good.
Because you're not focusing on them to be offense. Let's be honest.
I'm focusing on them to be on the ice to shut it down.
And they do a phenomenal job, and then Mikheyev gets the odd goal.
However, 59 goals in 15 games. Right? Like, we keep blaming the defense here, and that line is doing well. Like, I'm not going to say anything bad against them. I do think they're the second best line no third best. I think that Tavares and Nylander line, it's doing really well right now.
Especially now
They're
that,
back on producing.
yeah, now that Tavares has kind of gotten out of his little rut there. His rut, 14 points in 15 games. But
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. His run. I know goalless, yes, but pointless, no. He was putting up multiple point nights by getting assists. So, I think they're doing really. Offensively, this team is solid. Like they are a sound offensive team. The defense, the fact that Riley is now kind of slipping is,
well,
I don't know. It's a little concerning.
what's concerning is how south we went, losing an injured Jake Muzzin.
Yes.
An injured Jake Muzzin
Yeah.
was better apparently than all the
Than
defensemen we
nothing.
could muster.
Like,
And because he
Correct.
is a defensive player, and he was having a bad year.
but he was still impact. He still
He
had
was
an impact on the
impactful.
team.
Yeah, like I thought he was
Yeah.
making a lot of defensive breakdown, like bad choices. Well, not choices, but like bad plays and dumping it wrong and all that stuff. But looking at it now, like, man, we need a defenseman.
Even with those bad plays that he had and the turnovers that he had, he was still a much greater benefit to this
Absolutely.
team than he is not on it, right?
And,
So
yeah,
you have to. So like I said, from Dubas' standpoint, what do you do? Like, do you kind of throw in the towel and say, you know what, this year's a wash? Like, let's not
You
sell
can't.
our first round. Well, they can push for it next year. They can. I honestly think they can. You can move the pieces you need to in the offseason, change out the goaltending, move Mrazek, move that contract. Like, there are options to
Okay.
move players. The Leafs can, cap-wise, push for it again next year if they want to.
okay. Let me ask you a question then.
Yes.
Let me just write something. You're saying if they don't work it out, mostly the goaltending and the defense, you call it a wash, let it happen, first round exit most likely, and don't get them any help at the trade deadline
Yes.
because you think
Unless it's help with term.
unless it's help with term, which
Yeah, like
will
that,
be a
no
first
loan.
rounder plus prospects,
Yes.
obviously.
Yeah.
That if you do that next year is the last chance before you break
Yeah.
up something
Yeah.
because of cap reasons.
Yes.
If you go that route, do you
Yep.
trust them saying, yeah, you'll do it next year? Do you trust this group? Even if you make the cap work, do you trust this group if they fuck it up again this year? Because they're playing in the way that sometimes
I do.
they
Yes.
still have the issue of sometimes I'm going to play and other nights I don't care. And when you watch a Leafs game, it's how often do you watch a Leafs game like, oh, well, they lost 4-2, but it was a hard-fought game? No, it's either they obliterated the team or
Yep.
the Leafs get obliterated. It's not an in-between. It's they either play like the Leafs or they play like an AHL team.
Well, I would say lately there's been a bit of an in-between. Like 6-4, 5-4. Right? They're not getting obliterated, but they're also not destroying
Yeah.
teams.
6-4 against Seattle,
Yeah.
who cannot
Yeah.
score.
Oh,
That's
they-
not good.
They can score 4.
Against the Leafs. That's what I mean. You're like, oh, 6-4, yeah, that's fine. Against one of the last place teams.
No, I
6-4
know.
against Vancouver, one of the last place teams.
Trust me,
Right.
I know what you're saying, and I agree.
The
It's
only
not-
close game against a playoff contender has been Washington, a 5-3 win. And it was one of their better goaltending performances.
No, and Pittsburgh.
That was quite a while ago.
It was.
Yeah.
It was. Like I said,
I'm thinking like the last chunk.
Yeah, the last little while Washington's your only
because
one.
Pittsburgh was like 10 games ago. Right?
Yeah. It was a ways back there.
Yeah. So I'm okay, like it hasn't been. I mean, you get goaltending, even if Campbell gets to league average, if he can maintain 9-10 average,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
win most of these games. But the problem
absolutely you
is
do.
it's not just goaltending. It's Campbell's playing bad and out of position, all that stuff, and then also the defense One of the main things that the Leafs are still having problems with, especially now without Jake Muzzin, is they're so weak in front of their own net.
Yes.
They've gotten a lot better at being heavy in front of the other team's net. I've noticed that they're crashing it a lot more. I like it.
They've been kind of doing that all season though. I find.
Well, sorry, that's what I mean. As a team this year, that was one of their weaknesses before, is that they always went for the pretty goals. Whereas this year they crashed in and they get those goals, and it's awesome. Yeah. But in front of their own net, they suck.
Yeah,
so bad.
Yeah, so, it's not. So that's the decision that has to come down at the deadline. Is does Dubas believe in this team to sell at the deadline, to buy at the deadline, or do you hold off, beg and plead with ownership not to fire me, and make a run for it again next year? Look at the moves he made in the offseason this past year.
I am right? I'm a as we've said this year, I'm a proponent after this offseason especially. I want to keep Dubas.
He was shooting 75% in the offseason this year, right?
Phenomenal.
Three out of 4 turned out better than any of us could have expected.
He got rid of the fourth.
What if we give him one more offseason to move some pieces and get a defense?
Here's the problem, though. Dubas has given them everything they could possibly need. It's the team. It's
the only thing we have never received, though, is a right-handed defenseman. That's the one, right? We got TJ Brody, and Muzzin and Brody, Riley and Brody together looked fantastic.
Yeah.
Last year we had Hall, who looked really well, beside a really good-looking Muzzin.
Yeah.
Who knew that line would fall apart and would be the downfall of this team defensively?
Yeah.
Right? Like, you can expect one of the players to drop off a little bit, but you didn't expect that line to be this bad. And that's been our issue all year long.
But that's the thing, like, with the amount of money we have in the forwards, and the forwards are phenomenal.
And they're doing exactly what they're being paid to do.
You need to break it up if you plan on doing anything with the defense.
Well,
that's kind of the truth of the scenario, because the amount of money we're putting into the offense, and the offense ends up doing what they want to do, the defense and the goaltending has become so bad it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you can score 5 goals every single game if your goaltending's so bad they score 7.
Yeah, I agree. Hey, right? I agree.
So I
agree.
They have to buy this year, because if they don't, what first of all, the fans are going to revolt if you give up and don't buy, and then if you don't,
will they though?
It doesn't matter if you don't buy, if you don't try to buy, and you have another first round exit.
Yeah.
How are you and how do you sell the fans on that? Oh, and how mad were the fans last year, especially when they said, "Oh, we're going to go again with the same core." They were calling for everybody's head.
They were,
and they're going to do it again.
At the same point, though, we got rid of. Well, here's the difference, though. Is last year we got rid of our first round draft pick, right? On top of that, we were the number 1 team going in to face the last place team.
Yeah.
I think those two characteristics have a lot to play with how mad people were, and made people mad that nothing changed.
Yeah.
Right? If the Leafs were in last place and lost to the first place team, and if they didn't get rid of their first round draft pick, would you have been as mad?
No.
Exactly. The way we're trending at the moment, we're in 3rd place in the Atlantic. We're 5 points ahead of Boston at the moment, who's making a bit of a comeback there. We're getting close to a wild card spot. We're not quite there, but I mean, we are getting close. So at what point?
Well, here's the thing:
if Dubas sells the draft picks, gets rid of our prospects or a prospect, and is out first round, you're gonna be way more furious than if he went out and tried and held off this year, made moves in the offseason, and made a big push for it next year.
But what is
I would prefer that if this team doesn't bounce.
If they don't buy at the deadline and lose, the only way I accept it is if they make a big move in the offseason. They can't just be like, let's rearrange the third line again.
So I think I think a change is coming.
It has to.
To the forward group in the offseason. I honestly do.
You cannot sell it being like, yep, first round again, loss. This is feasibly the last possible year we can do it with a core. Let's run it again and hope for the best. Like you said that
you gotta trade Austin Matthews.
Not Austin Matthews.
Yes, he's the one that's got to go.
I mean, you'll get a return if they sell Austin. Can we just like trade Austin Matthews for Connor McDavid? Because we could sell Matthews.
I wouldn't want McDavid either, though.
Oh, I'd love McDavid.
I would want someone like.
I swear to God, if you say Drew Doughty.
No, JT Miller on Vancouver, and
I mean Vancouver's probably going to sell. Winnipeg's going to sell. Winnipeg's got some good players.
Like I would almost move Matthews for a first or second line player, costing between $5 and $6 million, and a defenseman costing $4 to $5 million. That's what I would move him for. And as dumb as that sounds, he is the best player in the league right now. He's the top goal scorer. Defensively, he has an incredible hockey game now.
I don't think you can move Matthews.
I think
he
it's
would ridiculous.
He would never ever get traded, and I know that. This is completely hypothetical, but I do think that he would be the player that I would personally move. And I could be completely outside the box in saying this, but I think the problem is his mentality. I find he quits partway through games. It would be an interesting stat to look up. How many 2-goal games is Austin? That's a stat I want to know. Because in the game we lost to Colorado, right? Yeah. Leafs were up 4-1 or 3-1 at one point, right? Mm-hmm. Matthews shut down. He stopped playing. He was invisible for the rest. He got 2 goals in the first period very quickly and was done.
Now,
and you did not see him for the rest of the game.
Did he shut down or did they shut him down?
No. He was nowhere to be found on the ice. No, a little bit during the third period, but that was it.
Okay.
And that's not the first game that comes to my mind. But there are other games. It would be interesting to see how many 2-goal games he gets. It's as if he gets out there, he gets his points, he does his part, and then he's done after that. And he kind of gives up and he kind of stops playing, and I think the rest of the team follows along.
Okay.
And that's just my theory on it. But yeah, I honestly think he would be the player I would look to move.
Because of the return as well.
Just because of the off-ice performance.
Yeah. I think oh man.
And how fantastic of a return you would get for him.
I think if you lose first round this year, maybe you do that because
I don't think if Dubas traded Matthews, he would be fired.
He's gonna get fired if they get first round exit again.
I know, but he could trade Marner, free up almost the same cap space. The way Marner's played the second half of the season, you can sell him super high.
But then the thing is, I think if you trade either Marner or Matthews, you have to trade both. Because
no, absolutely not.
Especially Matthews, if you trade away Marner, he will be a diva about it.
He might be, but boo-hoo. You're a professional athlete. This is your job.
Doesn't matter. He's Austin Matthews. He says goes.
I don't think so.
He will make that dressing room toxic as fuck.
I think it already is. Well, I don't want to say it is. I'm not in the dressing room. I don't know. However, I don't think he's good for morale. That's how I'll word it. No, realistically though, you would look at moving Neil.
Yeah.
His contract's up the soonest. You can get a good return for him.
It's up the same time as Matthews, 2 years from now.
Oh, I thought his was 1 year
No.
shorter than Matthews.
Nope.
Oh.
Like I'll even pull up.
I'm just gonna pull it up and check quick.
DB.
Yeah, for some reason I thought it was a year. I thought his Matthews was a year after Nylander's.
No, because remember Matthews only has the 5 years. Remember
Oh yeah,
that
yeah,
shitty
yeah.
5-year contract.
Yeah, but we talked about that. That's not that's not Dubas. That was Matthews that signed a 5 year.
I know, but I'm just saying 5 years is a big bitch.
It is, but would you rather have Matthews for no years or 5 years?
No, I agree.
I think that was
agree.
the deal.
It's just having to sign Matthews and Nylander, re-sign them on the same year, really sucks.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing is you're not gonna.
No, not a chance.
Year, right? They're going to. I could see so like, the rumors been around the deadline have been talking about JT Miller, right? JT Miller is a good winger. You could bring him in. He has term, and you could move Nylander out next year or in the offseason. Right? Now, with that being said, I don't think they need an offensive threat any more than they already have. But if you were to add something to the offense, that's what you could do. Is you could bring JT Miller in, because I think he makes the same amount of money or very similar to Muzzin.
Yeah.
So with Muzzin being on the LTIR and having his contract buried, you could bring JT Miller in, play him for the playoffs, and then in the offseason potentially move Nylander out and free up a little bit of cap space there. So that's one thought about what they could do offensively, but I'd prefer them bring in a shutdown D. And if I'm being completely honest, if I'm Dubas, I would bring in a shutdown D and go for it this year.
They kind of have to.
Right? I don't know. Well, they can do it next. Like I said, they can go for it next year too if they want to. But I think that this team is good enough to win. That is my
On
honest
paper,
opinion.
I say it on paper.
Not even on paper. Look at the beginning of the season.
Look at the beginning of the season. Look at them
When
now.
they steamrolled every single team. Yeah.
Look at them now.
Flip it around. If they started this poorly and then turned out playing that good, we'd be sitting here having a totally different conversation.
Yes, because it's, to us, they're improving. Now they're going the opposite direction. It's like, are they going to bounce back?
Well, that's
you know what I
the
mean?
scary part,
Improving over time is better than getting worse over time. Improving over
I
time
know.
gives me more confidence.
Yes. But I personally do think they're going to bounce out of this and will be a strong contending team. And I do think Dubas has to make a move at the deadline to bring in a good defenseman.
Yeah, because as bad as the goalies are, there's no goalies on the market.
No, the only rumor was Fleury for a little while.
Fleury says he doesn't want to leave Chicago.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He said that he doesn't want to leave Chicago. So the Campbell and Mrazek are your goalies you're going with.
Yeah. Unless you want to bring up Michael Hutchinson.
Man, if I was Dubas, I would pay anything right now for a big, scary shutdown defenseman. Like someone like Josh Manson.
Like Chara? Zdeno Chara?
It would be fun, but he's not the player I'd go
You
for.
throw him in the third pairing, man. Like,
I don't care. He's not the defenseman I'd go for.
no.
I'd go for Josh Manson.
I'm saying you can get Chara for like $1 million.
You can.
Why not get both?
I don't think both would work. Don't worry. I think seeing Chara in a Leaf uniform would be really.
It'd be hilarious.
And I'm a fan of Chara. I've always liked Chara. Back when he used to play on Ottawa with Wade Redden. Like I was a fan of him. I would love to see him as a Leaf, but I don't think he's the right player we're looking for. I don't think he's the right fit. I would go with someone like Josh Manson.
I would go with Josh Manson as well, but I'm thinking if you could get both, Chara will not take much to get, unless he has a no trade and all that stuff. But you throw him on the third pairing, I mean, he's not going to do a random spinorama in his own end.
Well, that's so. The other thing
park him in front of the net.
The other thing is,
Playoff Chara, man. That's like regular season Chara, not very good. Playoff Chara, still pretty good.
yeah, he's injured right now. He's on the IR.
Oh yeah, what does he have?
I don't know. But sorry, what I was saying is, I don't know what I was saying.
Oh, sorry,
no,
buddy.
I forget. I forget mid thought. I mean, yeah, Chara would be a good one. Sorry, right. What I was saying is same thing as Washington trying to get Fleury, right? Washington called on Fleury a whole bunch of times, and Fleury kept saying, "No, I'm not going there. I was a Pittsburgh Penguin for a long, long time. I'm loyal to that team. I will not play for the rival." I can see Chara saying, "No, he's not going to Toronto because he's a longtime player on not one but two rivals with Ottawa and Boston, right?"
Let's be
he
clear.
He doesn't have a no trade clause, but I can't see Lou Lamoriello trading him without talking to him.
Let's be honest though. Boston doesn't see us as a rival. We see them as a rival.
Yes, that is. But either way, you're still going to a team.
I know.
To team in that division, like because all three teams are in the same division, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So for him to go there, he would have to give the okay.
Would have been cool,
right? Like, I can't see Lou Lamoriello just trading him. And here you go, you're a Maple Leaf now.
Would have been.
He would go to him and say, "Hey, this is the offer that's been put out. Do you want to go play for the Leafs?"
The only reason I think they might do it if Lou wants to be a nice dude and Chara's like, this is probably my last year. I'd like to go try and win a cup.
Well, and if I was Dubas, I'd be calling on him.
Yeah.
Right? As much as I don't think he's the right fit, I think with how the team's played the last 15 games, desperation mode is right now. Right? He is in desperation mode. Make whatever trades you have to, call whoever you have to, sell the farm. I don't care. Build this team up because this is your best chance to win.
I mean, you don't think Chara is better than Ilya Lyubushkin?
Lyubushkin's no, but I think Chara's better than Hall.
I think
Lyubushkin's actually looked pretty good.
Yeah, I'm just
other than that first game, he's looked good.
He's been okay, yeah, but
right. And the problem is Chara's not fast.
No, that's what I'm saying.
The only thing he's going to be good for is standing in front of the net and pushing people. On a defensive breakdown, he's not going to be very good.
Playoff hockey, man.
That's the thing.
Plant him
in front of the net.
Regular season, he's your seventh defenseman. As soon as playoffs start, you're putting him in.
He's first line.
Oh yeah.
Well, so you have Kyle Cleveland, Wayne Simmonds, and let's say hypothetically Chara. Those are three tough guys you can put on the ice.
Yeah.
Right? You could throw Josh Manson out there too. If they could get Manson,
what does he make?
And Chara,
what does Manson make?
4.5.
You can make that. With Muzzin on the IR, you can make that work.
Chara's only 770.
Yeah, he's nothing.
Yeah.
You can get both those guys.
Yeah, but what are you trading away to get Manson? You're trading away, like you're sacrificing.
Does he have term?
No, neither of those players have any term.
Well, I'm not worried with Chara. Fuck, it might be like a 4th round pick or something like that, right? Like if he's just like the Islanders aren't a playoff. Islanders aren't.
Sorry, he's on the IR too.
Manson?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And he's got a 12-team.
Oh, so he's not coming to. He's not coming.
Trade list.
He's not
so
coming.
He'd have to want to come here.
He won't then.
Well, okay, but he is Canadian. He's from Saskatchewan.
Yes, but every player's no trade list is all the Canadian teams in Buffalo.
Yeah, but who knows? Who knows? I don't know. I think he's 4.1 million. So they could definitely with Muzzin being out, they could go for both defense.
The best thing they could do is get him and they have Muzzin. Muzzin gets healthy for the playoffs. Your defense is good.
Well, yeah. What would you have Sandin and Chara on your third line, Muzzin and Manson on your second, and TJ Brody and Riley on your first.
That's a playoff
contending.
Yeah,
that is a playoff contending team.
That is amazing.
without moving any offense pieces,
Yeah.
that is a contending team.
Because all Chara would require is a low-level draft pick. He's got no term. He's making league min. He's not very good.
It would have to be a low-level draft pick next year.
That's fine.
Not this year.
If you're
They don't have any this year.
you're saying I'm going for a cup, you can get
Yeah.
rid of a 5th-round pick or something like that. Or
In
what do the Leafs have? The
23.
Leafs have
This year, nothing. They have 1-2.
oh, that sucks.
And I don't think they can trade their 7th because there's conditions on it. So I think they're not allowed to trade for it
You are right.
until the season's over.
So it'd be a 2023.
I think in the off season they can.
It'd be a 2023
Right.
then.
It'd be a 23, 3rd, 4th, 5th, or 6th pick because we don't have a 7th. So I think yeah, unless we move a player like Hall, move Hall.
We'd have to
Give
pay.
Lou
We'd have to
Lamoriello
pay
Hall
to
back.
get rid of Hall.
Yes.
He's so bad.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, we'll see. We're still what 2 weeks from the deadline. I think.
Yeah, it's like the 21st, I think.
21st. Yeah, I think it's 2 Mondays from now.
Yep.
So. Yeah, 21st, and then so we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna be. I hope a lot happens.
I hope Dubas makes a sizable move.
Yeah, because if he doesn't,
If he
I
doesn't,
can
he's given
predict-
up.
yes, and I think if he doesn't make a move at the deadline, he has to go out and make a statement.
Yeah.
And essentially shit on the team.
Yeah.
And be like, hey, this team does not have the mentality to win. That's why I did nothing.
Yeah, he's got to do something
Not
like that.
not because I thought this was the best route, but I did nothing because this team does not have the winning mentality.
Like, what did he say a couple years back? I don't think it was Dubas. There was a GM. Maybe it was Dubas. But they said that they wanted them. The team needs to go out and prove that they're ready that they want it for the playoffs before you're going to spend assets.
I'm not sure.
And that quote's nowhere near what it was, but you know what I'm kind of saying, right? Like,
Yeah.
the GM wanted to see the team show that they're worthy of them spending the assets on them, right?
Last year's trade deadline, the Maple Leafs were in first place in the division.
Yeah.
They were still a good, dominant team come the deadline.
Yeah.
He sold draft picks, bought players, improved the team. Like, he did all the right steps.
Yeah.
Team was doing well. They were showing they were competitive. They were making a push for the playoffs. He got the pieces that they needed, and they fell apart.
Forgot how to hockey.
They fell apart. And so last year it made more sense to trade off your picks and buy players.
Yeah.
This year, right now, it does not make sense. However, I hope he does it.
I do too.
I do, because offensively, this team is stupidly good.
It is, and I want them to do it because I know you're saying next year too. Next year they'll still definitely be a contender, but next year is their absolute last chance to do anything, because after next year, half their team is like, good parts of their team are up. Like, if they go for it again next year,
Yep.
then the 2023-2024,
Yep.
you have Kerfoot is up. Mikheyev's up next year. Kampf's up in 2023. Kasha, you have to resign. Engvall, whatever.
All those players will be replaced. They will not be there.
Kampf is gonna suck to replace.
One or two might stay. Like, we'll see what he does with Kasha, right? If he signs Kasha for a 3-year deal,
Yeah.
right? We'll see. Mikheyev, I don't think he'll sign. I think Mikheyev's
probably
gonna
go
this year.
But okay, the people that I would like to keep, that the people that are
Bunting.
people that are hard to replace, that are up after
Yes.
next thing. So David Kampf, I would like to keep.
we have him next year, though.
Yeah, I'm saying next year is their last go-to. I think it's their last
Yeah.
go-to because both this offseason and the offseason after, the big people that are up are David Kampf, who's only
Yeah.
making 1.5. He'll get a raise. Andre Kasha making 1.25. He's going to get a raise. Don't care about Engvall. Bunting. If you think he's making anywhere close to 950,
No. He had a good. He made a good choice by taking a pay cut, coming to the Leafs, and tearing up the league.
Yeah, he's gonna. If he plays like this, he's making $5 million anywhere.
He's the leading rookie for points right now.
Yeah, so that's an easy $5 million.
On a side note,
probably.
go
ahead.
On a side note, $5 million. That's what Jared McCann just signed. Seattle. 5 years, $5 million. Yeah.
Who did we protect? Oh yeah, Justin Hall.
Mr. Hall. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? I was thinking earlier. I'm like, oh yeah, I don't have any negatives about Dubas other than those early contracts.
Okay, but hold on. Last year, it looked like the right decision. The season that Hall had, for the money that he's worth, it made sense.
Absolutely. It
you
just
could
it
not have predicted.
It just aged like milk.
That's the thing, is you could not have predicted this season was going to go this way. I will defend Dubas on what I thought it was the right decision.
At the time, yes, but it did age like milk.
Don't get me wrong. If I could go back and redo it, I would. But at the time, I agreed with it. It makes sense.
Okay. But going forward, though, Jason Spezza, is he playing after this year?
No. Yes.
Maybe.
I think he plays next
year.
What
about the year after?
No.
Okay. So then you have to replace Jason Spezza, who's a fourth liner making no money, that's still putting up someone who's making $4 million numbers.
Yeah, he's doing how? Actually, let me just.
And then next year you have to resign Lyubushkin, Sandin, Liljegren, and the year after Dermott, Hall, which Hall we're just firing into the sun. Who cares?
Yeah, but you know what? Lyubushkin, Sandin, or Liljegren and Lyubushkin won't make that much money.
No.
Sandin might make a little bit more than the other two, but not much.
And then you also have to deal with goaltending.
That's the hurdle, right? That's the big one.
That's why I think next year is the final.
Yep.
Go.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
They have next year as well. After that, it's a scary road.
Yeah. After that, it's all downhill from there.
Yeah. Spezza only has 20 points in 52 games this year. So he's not doing as good as he has in the past for the Leafs. He started off really hot. When the team was weak, he was hot. Right in the beginning of the year, he stepped up in those crucial moments where we needed them. So that I will say.
Dude's like what, 36, 37?
No, 38 now.
You can't
38
for 38 for 750. No complaints to that man. Beautiful man. Like no complaints to him.
Oh no, none whatsoever.
None.
He actually played with Chara on Ottawa. they played together, in Ottawa.
I'm so glad he plays.
So that'd be kind of fun. Bring the two of them back together for a Stanley Cup. Yeah. Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm thinking, should we do a podcast on the Monday night?
After the
maybe
draft,
instead of our normal Wednesdays.
Maybe we'll see.
Like
we'll make a decision.
Oh, we could live stream it.
No. I work.
Oh, do you work the Monday?
Yeah.
Okay. Tuesday.
I work.
You work the Tuesday too?
Yes.
Oh no! Are we not going to do trade deadline stuff for like a couple days after?
We'll probably record Tuesday.
Okay. Oh, you're not doing a night shift on the Tuesday?
No. I'm on days.
Okay, we'll make it.
So I'll be good to record Tuesday afternoon or Tuesday evening.
We'll make it work.
Yeah. I think that's it for me for this one though.
I think so. Not too much happened. Some last little points that we really should mention, if I can pull up my notes. Wayne Simmonds played in his 1,000th game at the Vancouver game.
Yeah, yeah.
So that was nice.
Fifth, he's the fifth black hockey player to play 1,000 games plus.
Awesome. Good
Yeah.
for him.
Yeah.
They gave his sons silver mini sticks.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, did you see that?
No, I didn't. I missed that.
Because they always give the player a silver stick or something, right?
Yeah.
He had his his son who's 4 years old, and then like an infant. They gave him both little silver mini sticks.
No, that's pretty cool.
I like that. It's pretty
that
good.
Is that's cool.
Yeah.
1,000 games.
Like we said earlier, Bunting is leading all rookies.
Yep. Yeah.
There's gonna be people are not gonna be happy when he wins the Calder. But
I'm gonna be one of them.
if he's far and away, man, like
No. I'm not gonna be happy if he wins.
I want him to win.
I think Zegras or Rain or Cider, any one of those three.
But how are they playing? Like, what are their points?
43, 43, 41.
That's pretty good.
They're three. Two of them are 3 points behind Bunting.
Yeah.
And they're not playing with Matthews and Marner. Detroit has
Nobody.
Lucas Raymond.
Yeah.
And Zegras has himself and Milano. Like, they had one fancy goal together, but yeah, like those two are genuine rookies at the age of like 19 or 20, and they're not playing with the best goal scorer in the game at the moment, and Mitch Marner.
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
It's a little different.
It's too bad you can't just give him like the I don't know, man. He deserves something.
Right?
The guy's playing so good.
He also has 4 more games played than Zegras.
Yeah. Well, I guess there's something he gets. If he gets to keep playing like this, he'll probably get a nice payday.
Oh, he's gonna be making $4 million.
Yo, if the Leafs get it for $4 million, I'd be so happy. That is a steal.
At least if he puts up, because he's gonna get 50 points this year. Mm-hmm. If he puts up another 50 points next year, he's an easy $4 million contract.
Easy.
Yeah. So
yeah, if he makes $4 million, that's a good contract.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, that's low. Like $4 million is low.
That's really good.
That's a hometown discount right there. That's what that is.
I'm hoping maybe Marner and Matthews kind of like talk him into it, because on the bench they're like super buddy.
Yeah, I don't think they will though. Like they might, but if you're Bunting, right? You sign that contract at the end of next year, and it's Matthews' last year. So it's like, why would I take a discount for one season? Right? Like if Matthews was signed for longer term, okay, maybe you make that deal and the three of you keep playing and putting up ridiculous numbers. But
well, that's the thing. If in 2 years' time, when that happens, do they blow up the team a little bit, make that room to be like, yeah, we're signing Matthews a year from now?
Maybe, but Matthews' next contract will be $13 million plus.
Yes, cap will
with
go
that,
up
with
a bit.
if not more.
I think
not more.
I think the best thing they can do is somehow trade Tavares.
I know you do.
It is the bet. He's putting up less. He's doing less than Marner and Matthews. For $11 million, you can replace Tavares.
Yeah,
or use that.
You absolutely can.
Like,
we don't know what he brings to the team off the ice, though.
I completely agree, but I'm just looking at, if you look at the books, that $11 million to Tavares, he's the weakest of the three, in my opinion. He plays great, but he is the weakest of the three.
He's the weakest of the three for producing.
For
points and points alone.
Yes.
Like, defensively, he plays a very strong game.
You are right, but I'm also
right?
thinking. He's also getting older, and he is. Like, if you think about it that way, and 2 years from now, it might be completely different. He might just be like.
Absolutely.
Because right now That's what I'm worried about. That's what I'm worried about with his contract.
Muzzin is the exact look at that, right? He's getting a bit older and his body's catching up.
Yeah,
but
and I'm worried.
As of right now, you have to look at Tavares as a 200-foot plus player. Yeah, and what I mean is,
I'm only saying it. He's phenomenal. I'm only saying that because of his age. It's his age and his contract. That's the problem. Because with his age, he's gonna get worse. or not
Yeah,
even worse because he's not bad.
that-
He's going to degrade, and he's already a slow skater. So what does that look like in 2 years from now? That's what I'm worried about.
That I get. Right
Yeah.
now, I'm happy with.
Yeah,
it.
right now I'm happy with it. But
Right?
2 years from now, how does that $11 million look if he takes a step back? That's what I'm worried about, and that's what I'm thinking. Like, do you do it sooner
maybe,
while he still looks good? As much as it sucks.
Yeah. You know what? Decision for the offseason.
Decision for the offseason.
That's gonna be my state until I know what Dubas does prior to this
Trade deadline.
trade deadline. My answer for everything will be wait till the offseason.
Last question though. We've mentioned this a couple times in previous things. We keep saying Jack Campbell's contract has to be decided before this trade deadline. What does it look like at this point? Like, it's less than 2 weeks away.
If I was Campbell, I'd be begging for $3 million.
Yeah.
Like, if he signed early, he was looking at 5.5, 6. Now, he's begging for $3 million.
Because I know there's
or 3.8.
Because I know there's a time when you're allowed. Because I don't think he couldn't have signed before Christmas. There's like a date.
I don't know exactly what it is where you can sign the extension.
Yeah.
Well, right now.
Probably now, yeah.
Right? Because Clifford just signed an extension.
Yeah. Because I remember Matthews didn't sign until whatever year it was, like the back half of the year, right?
Yeah, but with that being said, Riley signed earlier this year. Right? He signed in November, early November.
True.
Right? So I don't know exactly what the rule is, if there's a window or not. I don't know what the rule is.
I don't
know. I don't know if they're allowed to sign them. Yeah, I have no idea.
Because I seem to remember people saying, like, oh, the day that it was eligible, they did it. Like, do you remember that?
Okay.
I may be wrong.
A little bit. I don't fully remember. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see. Maybe next week we might have a big show, and definitely the week after we're gonna have a big show.
The week after might be a dual show week.
What do you mean?
Right? We might do one show just for the deadline.
Oh, okay.
Right? Let's do like a half-hour recording just to cap what we thought of the deadline, and then do our full episode on the games week and how the team's been performing and the deadline.
Okay.
So right. We'll see though. We'll plan it when we get closer to it.
Okay, I like it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well then.
I think the last thing I want to add. I'm done after this one. The last thing I want to add is: did you hear that Phil Kessel kept his Iron Man streak alive?
Yes. Okay, please explain it.
So I heard this from Elliot Friedman. Phil Kessel, I don't know exactly how long. He has a very long Iron Man streak going. And I guess his wife was in labor. So the Arizona Coyotes let him dress, got on the ice, played the first shift of the game, got off the ice, went to the dressing room unchanged, went to the hospital for the birth of his child.
I love it. I love it so much.
And the Coyotes played down a player the entire game because they lost a roster player when he left.
So
Do you know what the final score of that game was, Brandon?
Didn't they wipe the floor with them?
9-2.
Yeah, it's the most goals the Coyotes have had since they moved to being the Coyotes.
Yeah. 9-2
That's
is what
That's what you call playing for the team. Playing for your...
You want to know something, though?
What?
We play the Coyotes tomorrow night.
Why? I shouldn't be worried.
They've beat Colorado twice.
They've been good.
Year.
They've actually had a good stretch, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah, they've beat Colorado twice. I just want to see one thing here.
Like their last, what do they got?
So they're in second last place. So right now, it goes Canadians with 37 points, Kraken with 39, and Coyotes with 38. Montreal needs to start losing some more.
Oh, funny. Coyotes are on a 2-game win streak. They got 8 against Senators and then 9 against the Red Wings.
Yeah, and
3-game win streak. 3-game win streak.
Nick Schmaltz has 11 or 12 points
Yeah.
in 2 games. He had like a 7-point night and a 4-point night. I think he's got 11 points in. Like I'm thinking about picking him up in fantasy for tomorrow night against the Leafs, just to see what
Might be
happens.
smart.
Yeah, I have a spot available, so I might pick him up and just see what happens. With the way the goaltending's been playing on the Leafs, like.
Well, I know who I'm sitting tomorrow night.
Yeah, good call.
Yeah. And I very much regret sitting Demko to play Campbell last week.
Yeah, Demko got the win and put up a lot of saves too.
Yeah, I was at Batman, and then I got I got a whole swarm of messages from our hockey chat just saying, "Why would you sit Demko?" I'm like, I don't know.
That was me. That was me asking that question because I was looking. I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, your goalies are playing. You'll get an automatic win," and then you sat the winning goalie.
Thankfully, it didn't matter too much, but
No.
my idea was that the Leafs had just been spanked the night before. Oh, they're gonna come back hard. They didn't.
Do you know how many times I've had that idea? Oh, I guarantee they're gonna win this game. They just lost to Buffalo 5-1, and then
Yeah.
and then the next game happened. Right now,
Oh my God.
with that being said, they then they won. Oh no, they lost. Right, that's right. Yeah, they lost. They got spanked by Buffalo, then lost to Vancouver.
Yeah. That's why I thought they were
Yeah.
going to come back hard. They did not.
No, not at all.
Well, before we go, we got the next couple games. I just want to talk about them briefly. We got, like you said, Coyotes, then the Sabres, then the Stars.
Stars.
It should be an easy week.
I mean, last time we played Coyotes, we lost. Last time we played Buffalo,
Sabre,
we lost. And is this our first time playing Dallas? No, it can't be.
I don't remember them playing Dallas this year.
I don't remember them playing Dallas either. Yeah, it's the first time playing Dallas, I think.
That's crazy. Maybe because it got postponed.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh well.
What are you thinking though?
Uh,
The hot Coyotes against the Leafs. What are you thinking?
well, Leafs are on a 2-game winning streak, and I think they're going to continue it with a 7-6 win over the Coyotes.
Oh, I like it. I like it.
Yeah, so they do. They play the Stars on the 15th, March 15th, and April 7th. So that's where it is. They have not played them yet.
Okay.
They have 2 games coming up against them next month.
Oh, I forgot. The Maple Leafs. Oh my God! It's the outdoor game.
Yeah,
Ah, I forgot.
that's against the Sabres, right?
Yeah,
On
I
Saturday?
forgot about
On
that.
Sunday, sorry?
Yeah, it's Sunday. That's kind of
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. I mean, there's been no press, no media, no hype over
I
it.
forgot about it.
That's what I mean. No hype about it at all.
None.
So,
Wow,
whatever.
NHL's doing a great job. Great
Yeah.
job. They want to grow
Yeah.
the game, so let's
Yeah.
let's not hype up the outdoor game
Let's
between
not talk about it.
with 2 of the biggest rival teams. Toronto and Buffalo do have a rivalry because they're so close to each other. Everybody goes to each other's games. But don't worry, we're going to do that and then have Arizona play in a 3,200 person arena. And, come on, man.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
But I think
that's.
I think the Leafs are going to take that one.
I think they take all 3. I think this is the start of the comeback.
I realistically
I think they're gonna win the next 3 games. They're gonna show Dubas we can do this. He's gonna buy at the deadline, and the Toronto Maple Leafs are going to win the Stanley Cup with Zdeno Chara on the 3rd pair.
I like it.
I think that's how we leave it, and I think that is my prediction for the remainder of the season.
I think they're okay. I think they're gonna go 2-1 because it's an outdoor Centennial game. So the Leafs, there's no possible way they're gonna win a game that they should win. It's the Leafs.
I disagree. I think they're gonna beat.
I think they're gonna lose that game. I think they'll beat the
I think
Coyotes
they're
and
gonna-
Stars.
I think they're gonna curb stomp
I bloody hope so.
Sabres. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
still think we get Zdeno Chara. I hope we get Zdeno Chara because that'd be hilarious.
Yeah, it would be kind of cool. I mean, I'd be kind of cool to see him
That'd be great.
in a Leafs jersey.
Hell,
yeah.
put him on left. Put him on left wing? I don't care. Just throw him on there.
Put him somewhere.
Yeah. Anyway, that is it for me.
Sounds good.
All right, guys. I'm gonna put it up on Spotify, YouTube. Please like, please subscribe. Everyone keeps forgetting that we do have it on Spotify, but if you want to just see our pretty faces, go on YouTube, like all that stuff. I've been trying to tweet a bit more on our Twitter. Instagram's going up more. We're gonna put more up as we go, maybe some clips as we're going. And we'll talk to you guys next week, and have a good night.